Shalom. Call halal Yahweh Shemi Shabbat Shabbat Double honors to the elder apostles and other bishops of Great Millstone, even the elders that came before them that taught us the truth. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word in truth and in sincerity, the hopeful light tabernacle of David. On the brother slash elder, shalom and salutations to you all. This is the WW3 Daily Update. Really quick. Joel 3 and 10, let the weak beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I'm strong. I'm going to get it. 2 Ezra 15 and 29. Uh, 28. Behold, an horrible vision, and the appearance thereof from the east, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon the earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. Also the Carmanians, raging in wrath, shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. And then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature, and if they shall turn themselves, conspiring together in great power to persecute them, then these shall be troubled, bled, and keep silence through their power, and shall flee. Now, I want to pick this out right here. And if they shall turn themselves, conspiring together in great power to persecute them, then these shall be troubled, bled, and keep silence to their power, and shall flee. So, what we see right now is these Arab countries coming back together. I'm going to let Richard D. Wolf talk for about 5 minutes. He's going to explain where we're at right now with this whole military situation going on in what they call the Middle East. Okay, and I disagree with him trying to say that U.S. isn't all in with Israel. He's trying to say that, oh, U.S. military shifted on Israel. No, they're going over. The Most High is going to send the Northern Army. How about that? Anyway, take it away, Richard D. Wolf. This is Capital Frontline, 11 hours ago. Take it.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we gather to confront a development that has sent shockwaves through capitals across the Middle East and beyond. The United States, for decades the unshakable guarantor of Israel's security, has made a military shift that not only unsettles Tel Aviv, but stuns Arab allies who had long relied on Washington's predictability. And the question we must ask, the question mainstream headlines won't ask, is simple: why now? What forces beneath the surface push the United States?
Why now? Ecclesiastes 3. Okay. Round about 7 or 8. What? There's a time for everything. Why now? Time for war? Salakia. I won't get it.
Into this recalibration. For decades, the relationship between the United States and Israel has been portrayed as untouchable, a cornerstone of American foreign policy in the Middle East.
And when it says, and these shall be troubled, bled, and shall flee, it says, these shall be troubled, bled. Who is these? Well, these two characters right here. Israel, the big Satan and the little Satan.
For decades, the relationship between the United States and Israel has been portrayed as untouchable, a cornerstone of American foreign policy in the Middle East. Billions of dollars in military aid, cutting-edge weapon systems, diplomatic cover at the United Nations, and near automatic support in conflicts made Israel the crown jewel of Washington's alliances in the region. But what we are seeing today is a crack in that privilege, a shift in posture that calls into question whether Israel's status as the indispensable ally is beginning to erode.
It's not what the scriptures say. Okay, I'm going to let him talk on, but that's where he's going wrong. Real quick, let me point that out because we read it earlier. Okay, let's get that real quick. It says, then these shall be troubled, bled, and keep silence through their power. Who is these? Who's going to be troubled, bled, and keep silence through their power? The Assyrians. Who's the Assyrians? Well, in this case, it's Babylon the Great, which is America, and Israel. Okay, because where are the nations of the dragons of Arabia gonna come out with many chariots? In the Middle East, they're gonna come out with many chariots, right? Where are they gonna fight? Right there in Israel. Okay, and then it goes over here. It says also the Carmanians raging in wrath. It says and join battle with them over here in the Middle East, and then it says and right. As opposed to what's going on in the Middle East, right? Shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians, which is over here. Is it not? This is speaking of both Israel and America. And then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering themselves, right? And if they shall turn conspiring together, and they shall turn themselves conspiring together, in great power to persecute them, then these, who's these? The Assyrians and the Israelis. That's what this guy's over here making a big fuss about, how they've been in lockstep with each other for how from the beginning. And from the land of the Assyrians, now this is over here, shall the enemy besiege them. Because what? Because of that immigration policy they got where they don't let everybody come in over here. And from the land of the Assyrians, over here now, see, shall the enemy come up through the southern border, because it was wide open when they were letting all them troops through, and shall consume some of them, and in their host shall be fear and dread and strife among their kings. That's going on right now. Anyway, back to the Salakia. They're in lockstep. He says it's beginning to erode. The Most High is about to send the northern army, remove the northern army far off. What is that? That's solidarity.
In conflict, Israel, the crown jewel of Washington's alliances in the region. But what we are seeing today is a crack in that privilege, a shift in posture that calls into question whether Israel's status as the indispensable ally is beginning to erode.
What's going on is Netanyahu is forcing Trump's hand, and he don't like it. He's dragging his feet. He's going to do what he's being told eventually, trying to do it his way, but he's mad because Netanyahu is the piper and Trump is the follower. He's not happy about that.
And the shock that this generates is not just about a military maneuver. It is about the symbolic meaning of Israel no longer being the unquestioned priority of the U.S. empire. That is why this story has rattled both Tel Aviv and Arab capitals alike. Let's be clear, Israel has functioned not just as an ally, but as an extension of American power in the Middle East. For Washington, it was the reliable enforcer, the local partner that could be counted on to project U.S. interests without hesitation. Yet now, when U.S. military planners choose to redeploy resources, shift bases, or rebalance attention, it signals that even Israel is no longer beyond reassessment. And here lies the hook. If the United States can adjust its posture toward Israel, the most privileged partner of all, then no country can assume permanent guarantees. Every ally must now wonder where they stand in the new pecking order of
They stand like the Native American Indians. They're going to break all of them treaties.
American priorities. Consider the psychology of Israeli leadership. For years, they have operated under the assumption that U.S. support is unconditional, that no matter the circumstances, Washington will rush in with weapons, money, and political backing. This sense of immunity allowed Israel to act with extraordinary boldness in its regional policies. But now that sense of immunity is under pressure. If the U.S. is willing to signal, even subtly, that its military posture can change, then Israeli leaders must grapple with a new reality. Their strategic cushion is not limitless. Imagine the shockwaves in Tel Aviv as policymakers realize that their long assumed invulnerability may be thinning at the edges. The deeper question, however, is why this shift is happening now. The United States is not suddenly developing doubts about Israel's loyalty. Rather, this is about hard numbers, hard limits, and hard power. The U.S. is
Overstretched. Too many theaters. What is it called? World War. They're pulling back. They got too many fronts open. They're fighting Russia as a proxy through Ukraine. They're looking at Taiwan. They're trying to stop China from taking Taiwan back. China's waiting for the right moment. You got the North-South Korea conflict about North Korea is going to march right over and take their land back from the United States. Okay? You got what's going on in the Middle East. What's going on over there in Venezuela? Stretched thin. Okay? But what's the Most High going to do? The U.S. is overstretched militarily. They're still in lockstep with Bibi Netanyahu.
Militarily, financially, and politically. Wars in Ukraine demand resources, tensions in Taiwan require preparation, and the global contest with China consumes attention.
No, I haven't watched that part. No, I didn't study that and recite it back. I'm watching this for the first time.
In this context, Washington's military commitment to Israel, while still strong, is no longer sacred, and that is a profound statement about where the U.S. finds itself as a declining empire, forced to make choices it once never had to make. For Israel, this is not merely a diplomatic inconvenience. It is an existential warning. If
No, for the longest now, going all the way back, America's been backing Israel. It's not something new. They're not going to stop now. They're going to continue to do what they're told to do. Has nothing to do with Donald Trump. Anyway, I'm gonna get a couple and get out where I wanted to see. Here's what's gonna happen. Let's get the Northern Army. Okay, far off from you, the North. Okay, so here's what the Most High is going to do. I don't know what you're going to do. Now watch who's saying what's going to happen. Joel 2:20. But I, who's I? Yahweh Shem Shah, will remove far off from you the northern army, that's the American army, and will drive them into land barren and desolate, with his face towards the east sea and his hinder part towards the utmost sea. And his sting shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, because he hath done great things. Now, let's talk about it in the Middle East. All right, now let's go to Joel. What? Joel 3. Who's speaking again? Who's going to do this? Most High just said he's sending them where? He's sending them in this gathering right here. Joel 3 and 2 in the NIV. I will gather the armies of the world into the valley of Yahushua. Isn't that the northern army is one of the armies of the world? Where are they going? He just explained it in Joel 2. Gave you the exact description of it. There's a name for it, the Valley of Yahushua. Middle East, Israel. Okay? That's where America's going. So it doesn't look like they're going to hold back in whatever you're trying to say right now.
World superpower is starting to recalibrate.
No.
Israel may find itself compelled to negotiate more seriously.
Nah, we already know the outcome. Let's get one more and then we'll close. This is Proverbs 21. Verse 1, yeah? Who's doing what? Proverbs 21 and 1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. Good news. Mind control. Supreme. Supreme mind, not ultra. This is supreme mind control. Take the S off. Okay. MK. If we're in Germany, that would be a K. Okay? MK Supreme. It's just that simple. All right? Get it right there, Richard D. Wolf. With that, we hope the elect are edified. You brothers and few sisters, shalom.